I'll let you introduce your
Welcome back.
one of your favorite
I have
guests.
one of my favorite people, and one of my favorite fellas that I actually know, and his name is Fred Woehl, and he is like the most adventurous man ever because he's always doing something. But you have something coming up here that you want to talk about specifically, but we want to, we're going to just let you talk because you always have something going on. Fred Woehl.
Well, thank you. Well, the thing we're here today for is Silver Dollar City, Branson, Missouri is coming up. I've been up there since 2007, and we're going to be there beginning October 4th. I've got my wild horses. I'll be up there. We'll be offering up one for adoption again. Her name is Miss Ellie. She's from Colorado, and she's really a sweetheart. And so we have such a good time up there.
Now, where are you located in the park?
I'm next to the Red Gold Theater. I'm outside. They used to have me inside, and I hate being inside.
Oh, yeah.
So we're outside now where people can come up. We got the only horses on park you can come and pet and get up close and personal with.
So is it on a main...
when you go in, will it be like leftish?
Okay,
or
as you
rightish,
come through the main deal of Silver Dollar City, just bear to the right.
Okay.
Just keep going to the right. You'll go down. You'll cross the bridge. You'll go by my good friend Buck Taylor's Imposium, where he's in there doing paintings, and I'm right outside there.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It's called the Red Gold Courtyard.
Okay. All right.
And
so
we'll be there. And, of course, I'll have Blue. Blue is people like him way more than like me, and so I'll have him there. And so we'll have a good time.
Now, will you be mic'd up and you'll talk to the crowd?
And mic'd up, and we have for an outdoor outside, we have the largest crowds in the park.
Is it a scripted thing that you do, or you just interact
with horses? There's never a script, and it's just and the thing about our show that is really better than any other shows in park is it's interactive.
Okay,
we take questions from the audience.
Okay,
so you talk, but do you wait for a crowd to get there and then?
No, I have a time.
Okay,
I have a time. My show's at 10:15, 12:15, and 2:15.
Okay.
And I have a time, and then because just after me, we have the chuck wagon cook. He shows how to cook, and so and then after he gets through, we have a cowboy singer. I don't know who'll be up there. I know this week Kristen Harris is up there.
Okay.
And so it's just one big happy family up there. We have such a good time.
Mm-hmm. Sounds
such
like
a good time.
But you're not there till the 4th.
Not there till the 4th.
And you'll run through the month of October.
October 28th is my last
October
day.
28th,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I'm getting old.
So
man, it's tough. 14-hour days playing with horses. People. This is what's really unique. People say, "Well, you only work 90 minutes a day, three 30-minute shows." They don't understand getting up at 5, feeding the horses, brushing the horses, going eating yourself.
And you leave the horses up there the entire time.
I stay there.
Places.
Well, I'm Mondays and Tuesdays we're not open. We're closed. So I come home Sunday night and turn the horses out. I don't touch them. Just turn them out and let them unwind. And then I catch them up Wednesday morning, and we go back up and start all over.
Well, that's a noisy environment for horses, especially when they're out in the field all day and there's not that much activity. But they're listening to people all the time.
And a train. There's a train within 20 yards of us.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, you want to see a really solid horse is have one go out and have them blow that horn.
Yeah.
And see what happens.
And without warning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, they hear the train. Well, no, they without warning, they blow the horn, then they come by, they blow the horn again, and it's just you get used to that. You time your show to where that's either at the beginning or the end.
Right.
It's really an interesting deal.
What are some of the interesting things? I guess there's people that come that have never seen a horse up close and personal, right?
Right. We have a saying, "Oh, cowboy does it." People don't know which end of a horse gets up first. The horse laying down which end gets up first. They got a 50-50 chance, to guessing which one. And it's true. By the way, Dan, which end of a horse gets up first?
I think the front end gets up first.
You're exactly right. A cow, the back end gets up first.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've done really good. And which end of a horse gets up first?
Front.
There you go. See, I got two really smart people here with me today. And it's we're asked all sorts of things, like what do the horses eat, just anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you tell them the story about the wild Mustangs.
Oh, I do.
I
explain all that. I explain the problem that we're having with too many horses on the range. One of the things I point out to them is because you hear a lot. We talked a little bit Facebook is really good about spreading disinformation.
Yep.
I read the other day that Abraham Lincoln said everything on Facebook is true, and I read that on Facebook.
Well, if it's
You
from
know,
Abraham
so
Lincoln,
you
it's
got
got to be
got
true.
that right. So, and there's a lot of things that are spread like that. So I try to tell them the actual thing. It's like, Ann, if I brought 2 horses and put in your front yard, how long could they live there? Just in your front yard. Not very long, because they don't have a lot of grass.
Right.
They don't have hardly any water, if they have any.
Right.
Okay, and see, that's the thing it is out west where these horses run.
Oh,
They're
okay.
wild. They're running wild. And so, they have to have grass, they have to have water, they have to have food and that. And so when you have too many of them, that runs out. And I've had people say, well, I drove across northern Montana and didn't see a horse. Well, how many deer did you see? I didn't see any deer. How many elk did you see? Well, I didn't see any elk. Well, that's the wild horse. If you drive up to a field and honk your horn and horses come running, are they wild?
Probably not.
No. See, and so that's what I try to just, tell the truth, explain to them how it really is. And we've, been doing it since 2007 and have a good time. It's really a good time. I've made some really good friends, and people come back and they see us, and we just have such a good time. Such a good
Awesome.
time.
So when you're out, when you say that the population's there's overpopulated right now, what happens with those horses? Are they how are they thinned out, or are they thinned out?
Well, we try to gather them once in a while to keep them and offer them up for homes. But see, every time we do start a gather to gather them, people sue us, and then it's wrapped up in court and goes on. Right now, we have over 70,000 horses running on pastures that can handle 27,000 horses. So they're almost three times as many.
Wow.
And so these horses are not in very good shape. And if you've ever seen a horse starve to death, how skinny they are and all this is what's going on out there. Now, there's 179 herd management areas in 10 western states that we have, that the Bureau of Land Management has. Now, not every one of those have a horse problem. But I would say over 75 to 80% of them do, because there's just too many horses out there. And just like what I explained, if I put 2 horses in your front yard, they couldn't live there long.
Yeah.
And that's what's going on out there. So what they're doing is they're getting off of government land where they should be and getting on private property.
Where people can take
right,
care of them.
Nevada, there's horses in almost every subdivision out there because they water the grass. And the horses come in off the desert and start eating their grass, and people get upset. They get mad.
So where does the lawsuit, what's that for?
They are, I don't know how to even say this without just being blunt about it, is that we have a bunch of people that think that horses are native, they're not livestock, they just need to be running free.
Oh.
They're the same ones that think...
Even though they may be dying off or whatever.
Yes.
Okay.
So they don't
if
want
that
you to-
happens, they will sue to go get them and feed them. You got to feed these horses now.
Yeah.
And,
Wow.
And see, it's just and it's amazing.
So they complain about the problem, but they don't want to solve the problem
Right.
until there's a problem, and then they want someone else to take care of the
Right,
problem.
and the thing about it is, these folks, and some good-hearted people, I don't want to just take that away from them, but they look here in Arkansas, you can run a cow-calf per 3 acres. If you have good improved pasture, 3 acres will handle a cow-calf, or you can run a horse on 5 acres year-round without feeding hay or anything. Out there, it takes 12 to 1,500 acres per horse. But people don't understand that. We
it's not
always
Because
green
of
out there.
vegetation and all
It's
that.
desert.
Right.
Yeah.
When you think about it, we had the Homestead Act. People went out there and homesteaded. Where did they homestead? Where there was water.
Water,
Right.
So that's private. That is privately owned.
Gotcha.
So if a horse gets a drink out there, he has to go on private property to get a drink. So what the Bureau of Land Management does is they lease this stuff, work with these people to develop this water for livestock, horses, deer, and antelope. But when you have an overabundance of one species, you can see how that puts everything out of kilter.
Wow.
Well, horses are not indigenous to North America, are they?
That's where the horse started eons ago, but I think they became extinct. Something happened to
Okay.
them. They got wiped out, and they wasn't brought back
were
to
brought
the
back.
continent until the late 1500s, early 1600s by the Spanish.
Spanish, yeah.
Interesting trivia.
So
And do you
that-
talk about these topics?
I explain all that stuff.
Yeah,
I
okay.
try to go off, and people are really interested in this,
Mm-hmm.
and you know, and I try not to go in great detail. Just give them the specifics because you know you get to. Because they're there to have fun. They're there to learn, but
Sure,
they're there to
yeah.
have fun. And so I play with the horses. We do all sorts of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and just have a good time. Just have a real good time.
Do you talk about your Mustang program?
We talk a little bit about it, but not much. You know, we since we've been doing our shows at Silver Dollar City, directly related to the show, over 50 horses have found homes.
Oh, that's good.
Yay.
And unrelated, people that have heard about it and then tell me later that they went somewhere and adopted a horse, well over 100 horses. So we found homes for, you know, a lot of horses.
So if someone is interested that's watching this program, can they contact you to adopt, or
you
where
bet,
would
you
they
bet.
go to find more information?
They can go to BLM.gov, www.blm.gov, and then they'll have an icon to come up and said the Wild Horse and Burro program, and they can click on that. Now we have an adoption event coming up. The closest one that we've had in a while, it'll be at Sedelia, Missouri, the 1st of October. And then there's one in Hot Springs, Arkansas, towards the end of October. They can drive down there, look at these horses, and if they want to
Okay.
take one home, they can.
Yeah, but no one can just take one. You have to.
Well, there's certain things you have to meet.
certain criteria.
Right,
yeah.
right. Well, one thing, these are wild horses. And so you got to have at least a 6-foot high fence, you know, and something like that to make sure that they don't run off. You don't know how many times I've been called, oh, my horse got out. Can you come help me? You know, downtown Little Rock several years ago, we were down there. We had an adoption in Saline County, Benton, Arkansas. And I'm down there helping, and this Saturday afternoon, got a phone call. This woman had come and adopted a horse, took it through Little Rock, stopped by her friend's house to show her her horse, opened up the back of the trailer, and the horse got out. So here I am in downtown Little Rock, or close to downtown, Blue and I trying to catch this horse.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, it was a hoot.
I bet you caught it.
Oh, yeah, we did. We did.
Yeah. Now you mentioned burros. Is that important? Are horses social animals? Do they
are.
need companions?
They
Is that
are.
why the burros are there?
They need no. Well, see, we had the same problem with burros.
Oh, too many burros.
Too many burros in Nevada and California. Because think about what happened in Nevada and in California during the gold rush. What did people use to?
They brought the burros to
Right.
for all
Right.
that,
And so
yeah.
when they didn't find any gold, what did they do with the burros? I ain't
turn
taking
them
that
loose.
thing home. They
Let
turned
them
them
go.
loose. So
Yeah.
they did the same thing. So we
Gotcha.
have an overabundance of them out there doing the same thing. So we have them up for adoption too. Now I've never had one of them up at Silver Dollar City, and I guess I should do that.
Maybe you can do that sometime.
Maybe I can do that next year.
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. That would be neat.
There you go.
That would
Light
be
bulb.
neat.
Think about it.
I
He's
will.
got his wheels turning. I can
That
hear
would
him
be
squeaking.
interesting. That would be interesting, huh?
Fred,
Can I share a poem with you?
you can. And
always.
always close it out for us. Please do.
When you see this old cowboy, remember, he's not ragged by his choice. I never meant to bow these legs or put this gravel in my voice, but I'm chasing what I really love, what's burning in my soul, wishing to God that I'd been born 100 years ago.
That's a good one.
Ain't
That's
that
a
true?
good one. That's
Oh,
true,
it sums
too.
me up to a capital T.
There you go.
Thank you all very much.
Thanks,
Y'all are
Fred.
just so great. I
Thank you,
appreciate
Fred.
coming here.
Well, anytime you want to come by, you're welcome to.
Thank you. I
Standing
appreciate that.
invitation.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate that. Appreciate that.
Let's take our break, and when we come back, we'll be talking with Eric Stefanski, who just now dashed out of the room. We'll see if he's, I don't know what he's doing. We'll
Coming
find out,
back.
and we'll go chase Eric down and drag him back in here, and we'll talk to him in just a few minutes. Stay with us. You are watching 726.